Hello, dreamers, and welcome to this week's episode of Cherish, Live, and Dream. I am your host, YaYa.
And I am your host, Jay.
And we are your hope dealers. Okay, guys, gals, cousins, cousinettes, yee! Let's get into it. Today's topic is detour, delayed, or denied.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dig in those words as it relates to our lives. And hopefully we can have some sense
Mm-hmm.
of, when we're asking for things, when we're hoping for things, is it going to happen or is it not? So let's get into the definitions first. And then we're going to talk.
Let's talk, people. So, which definition you want me to give first, y'all?
Let's start with detour.
Okay, so detour is a long or roundabout route that is taken to avoid something or to visit somewhere along the way.
So detour in our daily lives, you just let's think about traffic patterns or if there's an accident.
Okay.
You'll see signs that say detour, go this way. You see the big orange sign that have detour on it. Or sometimes that can happen unknowingly, and then sometimes you see where, the construction or traffic people put up a certain date and says, on this date, detour X, Y, and Z. So detours we can be made aware of and sometimes not. So that's just an example of a detour, but we're going to actually talk about detours in our lives. But before we do that, let's go to the next word.
Okay, and what do you want?
Let's do delayed.
So delayed is to make late or slow, postpone or defer, and be late or slow.
And that will be me all the time.
All the time. She never, ever gets anywhere on time.
So I am quite delayed.
Delayed.
And also with delayed, it could be something caused by yourself because you're just piddling around. If you got to get somewhere, you say, oh my gosh, let me put a load in the laundry. Oh, I didn't do this dish. Oh, let me sweep the floor. Oh, let me just sit here and think about my life. And then before you know it, you're late. You're delayed. Or you can get out there on the streets and something could happen.
Or she just doesn't show up.
Which brings us to our next word. Denied. No, I'm not coming.
5 minutes before she's supposed to be there. So denied is the refusal of something requested or desired.
Something requested or desired. So I request.
Here we go. What do you request, y'all?
Oh, I just keep that to myself. Let's get into the conversation, guys and gals. So when I think about a situation where I can apply all three of these words, there was a time when and still, but this particular time, I wanted to pursue. Let me tell the story, man. I wanted to pursue acting on a professional, educational level and then professional. So I had applied for the Masters of Fine Arts program where I went to undergrad, which was UNC Chapel Hill.
Smart girl.
And so thank you. And so I prepared. And I just knew that my whole application packet, my letter of intent, all of that was on point. So you have to audition, you have to prepare a piece, a Shakespeare piece, and then like a contemporary piece. And so let me tell you guys, listen, I did the daggone thing. You hear me?
Can you give us a snippet of Shakespeare? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. That would have been good, too.
So I did that, and the people at the table, the panel that was doing the auditions,
Mm-hmm.
they gave me like a standing ovation. You know, they said, it was wonderful, blah, 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 blah. But of course, these kinds of programs, they only accept like 1.5 people out of like thousands of applicants.
Mm-hmm.
So me being who I am, the confident person that I am, not cocky, but I was just pretty confident in my audition, and I prayed, and I felt like it was the track that I was supposed to be on. And honey, when they called, first of all, they called, and I was like, oh yes, they do not call to tell you you're not getting in. But they called and told me I was not getting in. Of course, then it was followed up by official letter. But when they called, the reason why they called, it was the lady. I can't even remember. Anyway, if I did remember her name, I wouldn't say it. But she wanted to let me know that my audition was really good and to not give up. But the competition was very tight, and they had to go with the majority of the vote. So I understood that part, but I did not understand why God said no for that. I was terribly crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our pastor, I know he's probably about tired of me, but our current pastor, he was aware of that process, and I just gave.
He went,
I
didn't
was
he?
just
Didn't he
no,
go?
no, he didn't go. Oh, that was something different.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so of course he had to help me through that. so, so that I was denied, but that situation can also be something where it detoured me. Because while I did not get into that program, I was able to do some other things to, hone my skills and meet people here and there that were able to deposit some nuggets, some things in my life to help me decide what direction I want to go in after that. So many years later, I started, my YouTube talk show, Yapping with YaYa. Did that for a while, and then life happened, and then that's it, kaput. But that for me was more like maybe a delay, because I had to put it on hold for various reasons, and then mommy got sick and all of that. So I was just not up to it, and so like our pastor said, I just felt something chasing me, chasing me. This dream has always been chasing me. And so when the whole thing went down with my job, I said, Lord, I have got to do something. Like, I can't continue to be on this. What's the thing that
The hamster.
yeah, this hamster wheel just
Just
round
going round and
around,
round and going nowhere.
merry-go-round. Okay,
Was that Keith
so
Sweat?
yes, and then oh God, what's the guy with that eye?
Sweet Rick.
Music Soul Child came up with a song called Merry-Go-Round. But anyway,
Sweet Rick. I am so sorry.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Cherish, live, and dream. Where I went through a whole process
Oh
of
my
being
gosh.
denied. Then I was delayed. And now the detour led me here with Jay and with you guys. So when things happen in your life concerning your hopes and your dreams, sometimes the answer is going to be no, but not necessarily no to your dream, but no as far as the execution. So we're in the detour.
You make it sound so terrible. Gosh, it's so animated.
Let me tell you guys, I'm tired. I'm tired of the detour.
Girl, sometimes detours save you.
Right. And a detour, exactly. You know what? You talk more about that, because I was going to say detours will also keep you from things that will harm you or hurt you, or that may not benefit you at all. So God changes your direction before you crash.
Yes.
So take it, Jay.
Take it, Jay. So what can Jay say?
That rhyme.
So y'all have heard me talk about how I have a problem with my plans being messed up when I plan things. And normally I have everything, set a certain way and I'm gonna go here first and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But God has a way of changing your plans because in your mind you're thinking that this is the way that you want to go and this is the way that things should be going for you. And then sometimes he will put a detour, not necessarily a detour in the way that you are going to go, but maybe a detour in the way that you think. Because sometimes we think that our lives should be a certain way, and that's not the case.
Mhm.
A lot of things come with our mindset. Um, yes, when we're driving, my mom used to say there's more than one way to get somewhere. Okay, so you can use the GPS. So, the GPS, they'll give you a lot of different ways that you can go. So sometimes you want to avoid the toll roads, which I would like to avoid the tolls if I can. But sometimes you just got to spend the extra 40 cents in order for you to get somewhere quicker. But if you don't want to spend the 40 cents, and me and Chase, when we go up under the light, we be like, we do, we be doing stuff when we go up under the camera. But anyway, but where I'm going with this is that as far as a detour is concerned, like I said, sometimes we always think about it as driving, and it's not always thinking as driving. Sometimes it could be your mindset, like I said earlier. So we have these choices when we're driving. We have these choices on, okay, we can decide to take this shortcut, or we can drive through the neighborhood, or we can take the more scenic route. But what are those detours in your mind that you have going on? Some things that sometimes you're thinking about something. Like myself, I could be thinking about something and then all of a sudden I lose my train of thought.
Mhm.
You're just like, okay, what was I just thinking about? Like, oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to be doing. And then sometimes that's how our life ends up being. Like
Mhm.
we'll have something on our mind to do something and something can get us distracted and then we can kind of put it off to the side and we can forget about it. Um, but I said all that to say is that a lot of times we just have to know what's best for our lives contingent upon what God wants for us. We have certain desires, we have certain things that we want, but when He puts a detour on it, when He decides to navigate you to go a different way, it doesn't necessarily mean like YaYa. She had a talk show in the beginning and it was yapping with YaYa. Okay, she took a detour, or the Lord had her to take a detour, meaning she went a different route. It doesn't mean that she's still not doing a talk show. She's just not doing it in the capacity that she was doing it in the first place, or
Come
the
on,
first time that you did it.
evangelist. Come on.
So that to me can be a detour, not just necessarily driving, but
Mhm.
he'll just deviate and just change your plan a little bit. So the plan is still the same. It's just you're executing it in a different way.
Right.
So that's how I can look at a detour. Denial. A lot of us don't like to be rejected. A lot of us don't like to be told no. Um, I believe that when something is told to us and it's not the answer that we want, we see things in a different light. We see things in a different way than somebody else can see it. It's pretty much like your mom. When I was growing up, my mom didn't let me go everywhere. She didn't let me go over to everybody else's house.
Mhm.
And there was a reason for that because so many people do so many different things in the way that they're brought up or the traffic that goes in and out of the homes. So as you're a kid or as you are immature, you're thinking that, yes, yes, I just want to do this and I want to do that. But hindsight of it all, when you're mature and when you're thinking with a mature mind, you can see things a little bit different, especially when you have experienced certain things. So when you are rejected, as we think, when you are told no, sometimes we have to sit back and analyze, okay, why was I told no? It could be because you're not ready yet.
Mhm.
Because if that thing was given to you, and if you're not mature enough to handle it just yet, then it's going to be wasted, and you're not going to know what to do with it because you're not mature enough to handle it. And then sometimes when you're told no, it's because you need a little more experience with some things. You need a little more wisdom with some things. So being told no is not bad. Sometimes being told no can help you prepare for when you are ready. So that way, when you prepare and you get things in order, and when that yes comes to you, then you're ready to take it on and you won't lose it. You'll cherish it and you'll take care of it the way that you're supposed to. So that's how I look at denial. A lot of people have problems with rejection.
Mhm.
It could be because of, low self-esteem. It could be because of things that happened to them when they were younger. And so a lot of times people will back down from things and not like open up and express themselves because they're afraid of being told no.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to do that. And like my mom used to tell me, it's either yes or no. You ask the question, and all they can do is say yes or no.
Right.
But you won't know unless you ask. And if they say no, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you need to say no. Sometimes you need to quit doing everything for everybody and tell them, denied. No, we're not doing this today. I just threw that in there. But anyway, and then when it comes to.
But before you move on to the next
yes.
word, but sometimes
Yes.
no is no. It's just not for you. It's not a matter of you're not ready. It's not a matter of, you need to, grow a little bit more. Sometimes no is no. And that no is best for you because it could be there's a bigger and better plan. Could be because if it was a yes, it would be something that could harm you. So sometimes no is no, and it's no changing it. So that's another thing that, especially with me, Lord knows, and y'all probably know by now that please don't tell me no. Okay?
Well, what happens when somebody tell you no?
Girl, I don't like it. I get an allergic reaction.
Well, you slide down the wall.
I slide down the wall.
That's because you're spoiled.
I slide off the chair.
Because you're spoiled.
Oh, Lord, I break out in hives, so don't tell me no. But I do know that being told no is a part of life. So, yes, what Jay said, no could be that you're not ready, that you're not mature enough, but then no could also just mean no, boo, period.
That's not for you.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, you're fine. And so, delayed means to make late or slow. So, when you are delayed, maybe it's because you're not prepared. Maybe it's because you're not ready. I don't know. Like some people feel like that maybe because they're good at something, like they don't really have to work at it.
Oh, that's good.
And yes, it's good that some things come to you natural, but that still doesn't mean that you don't need to perfect it, or it still doesn't mean that you need to be arrogant just because you're really good at something. It doesn't mean that you can't learn from someone else. Even if someone is kind of beneath you, they still could have something that they can add to what you've already been working on or what you've already been doing. So sometimes things just need to be postponed. And sometimes we need to check our attitude when it comes to us being delayed. We need to figure out, like, why do I have to wait? Because waiting takes patience. And I think we've talked about that one time before, as far as like being very patient about stuff. And sometimes God has a way of doing that. And you're like, why, Lord, I want it now. He's like, no, I'm not saying that you're not going to get it. You just have to wait a little while. Just be patient for whatever that may be. I mean, it's pretty much like when you cook a pot roast. Oh, never mind.
You know what?
Never mind. Sorry. My analogy went to food. I apologize. But yeah.
But I thought you were saying pot roast because I had messed up a pot roast. I didn't tell you that story. Okay. Another show.
Now, anyway, no, I never noticed you even attempted to cook a pot roast.
Yes.
But anyway,
in my earlier years, yes.
Jesus. So you cannot rush certain meals that you cook. Everything is not microwavable. Everything does not have a microwave anointing.
What?
Meaning that everything is not meant to be fast. Everything is not meant to be quick. Sometimes when you do things too quickly, it just won't have that nice savory taste. Something that melts in your mouth. You can just tell that like this was rushed and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be appetizing. So sometimes you just have to think about things like that. Okay, Lord, if something is postponed, then maybe I just need to let this simmer a little bit. Maybe I need to, just kind of take this thing slow and just kind of slow down a little bit and not be in such a hurry to just get this done or to prove something to somebody. Because in due time, when it's your time, it'll be your time. So yeah, so that's what I get with delayed is like not trying to rush stuff. like too quickly and not trying to get out there. Because, even with the show, we were ready to put it out. Well, YaYa was the main one. We gonna do it this time. I was like, no, we need to do things right, decent, and in order. Like and of course, that's just us talking behind the scenes as far as before we were getting things. And I just had to come with my perspective on how I thought about it. And then she saw where I was coming from, which I saw where she was coming from. But sometimes when you rush things and you don't take your time and have everything that you have in order, it can be so messy and just, just so sloppy.
And not seasoned and
Yeah.
simmered or savory as
It's not.
Jay
Yes.
eloquently put it over there.
You want things to melt in your mouth. Like you want
And
it to
not
be
in your
appetizing.
hand.
And yes. And where people can remember, like, that was good, or her presentation was good, and you can tell that it wasn't rushed, and she took her time, and so you kind of want things for people to remember in a good way. And so I just feel like that's what delay can be. Now, in YaYa's case, her delay has nothing to do with anything simmering and taking this time. She just waits to the last minute so she can start doing that foolishness because she didn't want to come in the first place. So hers is just be commitment and just not wanting to come for no reason. And there you have it. That's what her delay means. She just don't want to come. That's why that crowd didn't show up.
And I would say I'll work on it, but
she's not.
I'm 44. That part not going to change.
She's not.
So, but you know what, Jay?
Yes, dear.
I have a hard time, and some of you may have this issue as well, trying to figure out the difference. So with detour, that's pretty much, you can kind of figure that out. You just go in a different way. But with delayed and denied, sometimes I'm like, okay, if it's delayed, how do I know it's not denied? How do I know if it's a no? Like, or when do I know if it's a no? Because sometimes when you pray, so let me give y'all this example.
Okay.
So there was this guy.
Did he have teeth?
He had gorgeous teeth that I was seeing for a while. And I had been, taking him to the Lord in prayer. And this was a good 2-3 year period, right? And so in my mind, I was thinking it was delayed because the stars weren't aligning at the time. But then it was an absolute denied when that crowd got married and not to me. So I'm in that 2-3 year waiting period of thinking it's a delay, but really it was a denied. So when I reflect back on why didn't I know this was a denial, there were some red flags that I thought were green. But they were really red. I was a little colorblind. So sometimes I think and I don't have an answer to this, I'm just, bringing it up for discussion. You guys may have a different point of view, but how do you know the difference between something being delayed and something denied? Like, is it always a delay before the denial, or, is it either or? Do they go hand in hand? I don't know.
Good question.
I mean, have you ever experienced that, good people? I mean, let us know. Comment. Let us know by sending us some messages or whatever. I don't know. It's just something I've always struggled with, trying to figure out.
So I guess the delay is like you're in the waiting period to find out what the answer is going to be. So then that's the reason why it's being postponed, is because maybe there are some other things that need to be worked out.
Or revealed.
Or researched. So researched and revealed. Because, I just dealt with something. Yeah, on Monday.
Woo, I wish I could tell it.
I know you do, but she ain't. And
y'all,
I ain't
it is good.
She's not.
It's some good tea. But
I might discuss it, and I might not.
But y'all know if it was me, y'all would have known that tea already.
She would tell it all. She would tell it all. And I end up having to tell her, not even wanting to tell her right away. I was going to wait, but I was pressured
Y'all, it
tell.
was like one of those clutch your
What did you
invisible
clutch?
pearls moment. Because I ain't had no pearls on, but I had to clutch. So I had to clutch the collar of my t-shirt.
But
Because that was some movie of the week. Like Lifetime.
but that would be good for season 2.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be good for season 2. So I will figure out a way to tell you, but not really tell you. Y'all know how I am. I'm so private. Because y'all don't.
There's nothing
Y'all
wrong with that.
See, she tells all. And I just tell just enough for you to get the story,
Yes.
but you ain't getting ready to get the whole. See, I take you on a lot of detours.
Yes.
I take you a long way to get, and then you be figuring out, what is she talking about? Don't worry about it.
She delaying y'all.
Yes, I'm delaying y'all.
She might even deny.
There's a strong possibility that I might deny.
But I don't do either of the three when it comes to my tea.
She tell
I
all.
don't detour. I don't delay. Well, no, I did delay that big thing that happened with my job, but most of the time,
Yeah. But that's why you had to put it on postpone, because you needed to find out the answer.
Yeah.
And so that's and a lot of times
so that was
that's
a
good.
delay, but not a denied.
See, exactly. And sometimes when things are in delay, you need to keep your mouth closed until you find out what the answer is before you start sharing it with everybody, because you don't even know what it's going to be. And then sometimes some things are not meant to tell everyone. Yeah. But that just depends on what it is. That just depends on what it is. But especially when you're in waiting and you're seeking the Lord about certain things, it's just imperative that you make sure you tell the right people. And then when it's time to be revealed, when God has revealed it to you, and then you know for a fact that it is a yes, then that's when you can go. So being in
or when it is a no, and that means he said no.
Right. It's just a no. So yeah. So mine was a no on Monday. Mine was a I'm done on Monday.
That thing was stick a fork in it.
Quick. I don't play no games. I don't have time. I'm too old. I'm too old for a whole bunch of foolishness. I just am. And so yeah, that was definitely a denial. I guess during the whole time I was in delay. Is that a word?
We're gonna go with it.
We're gonna go with it. Yeah.
But
what
see,
you got?
then now that we're talking about this, I don't know if I'm confusing myself or if I'm actually realizing that detour, delay, and denial can actually go hand in hand, because while that was
that's why I came up with the topic.
Listen, while what happened Monday was a denial, it was also a detour.
Or
you don't want me to say it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Or that could be a delay too. Anyway.
Well, now that now that could be a delay. That could be a delay.
So it's just all about
your perspective.
Yes.
Your mind.
And what you think is a detour.
For your life. For your life.
For your life, yes.
Yeah.
Or denial.
Yeah. So we always think about a detour as driving, but let's also think about a detour as your mindset as well. The way that you think.
Right.
Because we do have to change the way that we think. We have to change our thinking. And the way we think can get us out of a lot of things, or it can get us into a lot of things. So take your pick. Like, do you want to have a good detour, or do you want to have a bad detour in your mind? And so that sets the tone, I think, on how you think. That sets the tone for your life and the way that you navigate and the way that you go about doing things. So let's use that GPS in our mind. Let's see which way that we're going to go when it comes to certain things, because on Monday, if I would have allowed my character to get out of place, I could have been I could have been in jail. But
hit him with a left, hit him with a right.
That would have been a fright night. But yeah, so I mean, we really have to think about those things and just really make sure that our mindset is on point, and that we just have to think differently, because we're going to have some delays in life. We're going to have some detours in life. We're going to have denials in life. So we just have to make sure that our mindset is acceptable at that time to what's happening, and just realizing that there's a reason why that this is happening. There's a reason why that I'm being stopped, or that I'm being slowed down, or I have to go a different direction. And a lot of us, like myself, with me being a planner, I like to do things a certain way and, and maybe go the same way, to work or, wherever I'm going. And sometimes maybe you need to go a different route because you never know who's following you and who's watching you. So maybe you need to take a different way to go in places.
Or
that's my lifetime.
I could flip that.
Okay.
You never know when you detour what good might come out of it, what blessing, what interaction.
That's true.
So,
speaking of interaction,
oh Lord.
If you all watched last week's show, I'm making a detour.
And it was a denied.
But she did reach out to the guy. And I'm with her on this one. But it's not because of his age. In case you all don't remember, he's 33 or 31. How old is he? 33?
I don't remember, but he's younger, and I'm 44. He's in his early 30s.
Right. And so she reached out to him, and she found a little bit more about him. And the things that she found out, it's a denial. We can't do that. No. Which that had nothing to do with why she didn't want to pursue and continue to talk to him in the first place. She just went off his age. But, that's why you have to dig a little deeper, What movie was that? Princess and the Frog, one of the songs in there called Dig a Little Deeper. or that's a song. That's how the song went. But anyway, but that's why we have to dig a little deeper and get to know people. Don't deny something as soon as it, presents itself.
Because I would shut it down.
Shut it down. Under construction. I mean, she just shuts it down. But I mean, just get to know people and then just see where it goes. And yeah, that's what you have to do. And she decided to do that after I pressured her into doing so. And I even say it's a
3 X's, like on those.
Like on Steve Harvey. What is it? What's that show?
Family Feud.
Yeah, Family Feud. It's no.
Mom.
And bomb. No, we can't. So, but at least she tried, So now she has another person that is possibly interested. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, guys. I don't know.
We shall see. So,
anyway,
that it? That's all?
Detour, delayed, or denied. You guys figure that out and what that means for your life.
That's right.
But whatever it means, just know that whatever y'all, every time that train come by, it means I'm going to say something prophetic. Just know that when that train come by,
I cannot stop laughing. I am so sorry.
That we just going to close the show out because that train just just
messed up the whole.
My God!
I know they heard it. They had to have heard it.
So anyway, guys, but for real.
Oh Lord, help me.
Listen, there's gonna be detours. There's gonna be delays. There's gonna be denials. But how you handle it is up to you. So, having said that, thank you for joining us. We love you.
We love you.
See you next week. Bye.